these hooks out of this one. This is a weird design here. Interesting design. This is plastic, but yet they thread in. And I know it's not a solid piece of plastic. I don't think. That one's in there a little tougher, but yeah. One of these hooks. This hook is flat. Between the two hooks, you can see how it's flat. I don't know, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. This one's broke. So, yeah, it got pretty beat up. Let's just see. Since we got it apart, we'll start working on this one first. We'll get back to this one. I might even take the screws off camera. Let's just see what we got going on here. It's in pretty rough shape. It's sun faded. There's no luster at all to the clear coat. It's pretty sun faded. It's stained here and there. But we'll just rough it up a little bit and see what we got going on here. Make sure there's no cracks, splits, or broken pieces. This is 600 that I'm going over it with, kind of lightly. Just barely got my thumb pushing down on it. There's no point in removing the paint. It's good primer. But you got to make sure there's no cracks so water can get in. And by giving it a light sanding all over the place, the next paint will stick way better, which is probably just going to be a thin coat of rattle can primer. Very thin coat. I don't even care if I see this color. I bought a old tackle box at a garage sale, tag sale, garage sale, whatever you guys call them. And it had a handful of lures in it. And I actually bought it for the box. I wanted the box for something else. And I happened to have been going through my lures. I'm like, what the hell are all these old things? So I opened up the kit. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So I thought I'd get them out and give them a new life. This one here. Oh, excuse my. I'm stretching across half across the room here. This one here, I made out of a Rapala or Rapella, whichever way you say it. Rapella. Deep Diver 90. Had the metal, the big thick metal blade. Let's see if it's in here. I think I still got it. Attaboy. Yeah, right here. I had this off the front of it. And I took that off and sealed the groove that it slid up into. Sealed, there's a pin that goes through this. It's a hollow pin that's still in there. I took a toothpick, covered it with glue, and slid the toothpick in there, and then cut it and sealed it. All that is all one piece now. And there's a hole already pre-drilled. I pre-drilled it when the eyes and everything were all centered. I pre-drilled it. That's the hardware I got coming today to finish this off. So that's what I'm saying. And that was listed as a vintage lure as well. So you can see I have no problem. I wanted the wood. I wanted a floater. And this is what it became. This came off a old rusted up Neps. of the same color, and I thought, wow, that looks perfect. So yeah, I like crafting. I like creating things out of something else. And I like fishing muskies. I like fishing northerns. So that became a topwater plug. Well, I just got completely flat out carried away. I sanded it and sanded it and sanded it. I sanded it so smooth across the top you can't even tell it's two pieces anymore. It's perfectly smooth all the way around. The only place I couldn't get was inside there, where that is like a little indentation where the eyelet has to screw all the way down in there. But it's been clear coated. It's dry now. I even put 3000 grit. You're not going to be able to see it because it came out crystal clear on the tongue. There was a bunch of scratches. I sanded for a long time with 3000 grit sanding sponge. Where is it? That's 1000. Right here. 3000. I just went over it and over it and over it. And then when I dipped it into the clear coat, I dipped it from the butt end. This eyelet doesn't even go in it. I just borrowed it. But I dipped it into clear coat and let it sit for a bit, and then pulled it out and let it drip, and then put it on the rotisserie. So the whole thing is sealed now. No water can get in it at all. Yeah, and it's sanded perfectly smooth. The lead is level. There's no bump or indentation where the lead is. So next step is just thin coat of white. Usually I just use rattle can primer. Well, actually, next step is to cover this so that doesn't get damaged anymore, because that come out really good. I can't even get it at any angle so you can read it, but you can see where it says Natural Ike perfectly now. Before it was all scratched up. There's still some scratches in it, but it looks way better. But yeah, get some white on it, and then we'll figure out a pattern, and we'll start getting that on afterwards. Came out pretty good. A lot of sanding. Started at 600, like you guys you've seen pretty much all that. I did one whole side that you guys seen, and then once it was all done, I went over it with 1000 and got that completely done, so all the 600 scratches were out. And then when I did this with the 3000, I just went over this real quick too. So it's smooth. I mean, it is super smooth. It's unbelievably smooth. It's cool. Alright, so yeah, next step, we'll get a base coat on it and figure out a pattern.